Welcome back. This is day 7, which means we are in a full week of having done the damn thing, right? We are here for an energetic conversation, which I am totally pumped for because I love energetics and nuances and details. I love diving deep below the surface of what something is. So I'm going to start with the definition of being. I love definitions because it gets us on the same page. Definition of being is existence. It is the nature or essence of a person. Existence, the nature or essence of a person. It's simple, defined. It is the quality of who you are, not with other details, not with other pieces, not with outside identities, just the quality of your existence, your nature. And when we get into creating things, when we get into following the callings that we have, or going for something, or shifting things in our lives, there's a very distinct energetic difference between trying versus being. And on the surface level, trying is something that we say. It's, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to start a business. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to drink more water. I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying. Now, there is power in words and what we say, because words are spells, and spells become our existence. Thoughts become things. Words become our reality. Now, that's the surface level of personal development. That's like the entry point. So you have to be conscious of the words that you're saying, because the words you're saying are creating your reality. And if you're trying, you're not being. But what is the deeper aspect of that? How do we translate that into what is actually being? How do we get out of trying and into being? I think the most important thing to point out initially is that trying is a separate identity from being. So there's the person that doesn't do it, there's the person that's trying, and the person that's being. You are that, right? You are that. We've all said that. We'll use the simplest example. I'm trying to drink more water. Now, it's not Sarah that never drank water. She would always forget. She was really, really terrible. Now, Sarah has a water bottle with hours on it, and she's trying to drink more water. Sarah's not the person that drinks more water. She's somewhere in between. But when we're in the energy of trying to do something, we are leaving the being, the embodiment, the actual stepping into the being as something in the far-fetched future. Where does trying become being? What's the timeline for that? How do we enter that piece? Because the more we say try, the more we're rooting into the identity that we are not the person that has. So what does it mean to be the person? To embody the being, your existence, the piece of it, right? You're saying to yourself, but I'm not the person that drinks more water, so how can I be the person that drinks more water now? What does that look like? How can I make myself get there? Now here's where it gets really nuanced. If you have the desire is in you. The desire is pure. It is something that is true to your soul. Then the desire is from the universe, God, Mother Nature, however you define, into you. That means that that desire is for you, and it already is. What does that mean? It already is, but I'm not that person yet. But it already is, because the desire is from you, for you, made for you. It's like when we switch identities or change identities in our minds, in our being, it's Audra Bartlett in a different outfit. I am still Audra Bartlett. I'm still Audra Bartlett in the past. I'm still Audra Bartlett in the present. I'm still Audra Bartlett in the future. I am in each one of those pieces. So Sarah that doesn't drink water was Sarah who was wearing a dress of the girl who never drank water, and Sarah wearing the dress of the person that's trying, and Sarah wearing the dress of the person that is. And the important part to this is that if you have the desire and it's for you, it already is. So you have to clear this space between. You have to step into the identity of being, of the I am, of the certainty that if the desire is in me, it is for me, it is already done, it is, I am. So if it already exists, it exists in a timeline already happening, running concurrent to this current timeline. It is already. So how do we step into the being? We're going to go into a slightly more descriptive example. Say you are Michelle and you want to start a business. Okay. You're Michelle who doesn't have a business. You're Michelle that's trying for a business. And you're Michelle that is a business owner. Michelle, the business owner. Where's the marked difference? How does Michelle go from no business to business? How do we qualify that? Is it because Michelle decided? Is it because Michelle put a post up? Is it because she has business cards or created a website or did something on social media? How do we qualify Michelle as a business owner? Sure, we can go to like metrics of how we categorize, but in today's society, there's not these definitive metrics anymore, right? The influencer on TikTok has a business just as much as the person who owns the shop in your Main Street town has a business. Just as much as the consultant with a business card and a laptop has a business. So how do we clear the difference between those things? It's in Michelle deciding that she has a business. It's in Michelle stepping into the identity of a business owner. If she has the desire, it's already for her, it already is. She just has to step into it. She has to say, I am a business owner. If I have the identity of business owner, right? Not looking at the past where she tried to start a business and it didn't work out, or the current where she doesn't have the things printed yet, or it's not quite done, and she's been telling people she's trying to do it. Trying is like using a filler word to be able to not make us look bad. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm losing weight. I'm doing the things of the person that loses weight. And this is a really important piece before I go into the conversation tomorrow. But stepping into being or a new identity is a decision. That's why the timelines run concurrent. I'm trying to explain this in a way that people haven't explained to me before. Because so many times I've heard this, oh, it's just another timeline. Oh, just be the person. Oh, just jump into that, right? But here's the thing. it's changing the words on the surface. It's not saying I'm trying. It's saying I am, I have. It's saying, what does the identity of Michelle as a business owner? If you've decided, right, matter of fact, that this is what you're doing, that this is your desire, that this is what you're stepping into, then from that place, there will be inspired action. I'm not a proponent of doing things because you're supposed to do. I'm a fan of doing things because they're inspired actions, right? There's the level of learning, of understanding strategy, or a business card would be helpful. But for every strategy, you have someone that does not do that. You probably have someone right now making millions of dollars that doesn't even have a business card or a website. For every rule in business, for every rule of what you're supposed to do, there is an example for the opposite. It is the strategy, the ideas, the inspired action from you and your desire, and that point, that nexus point of crossing over into the identity of, that becomes, that is being. Right? That is the embodiment. That is the point where we enter the new identity, the new timeline. And from that place, there are things that within us, that self-trust that I was talking about, go this way, do this thing. Not with an attachment that it's going to elicit a very specific result. This is why I have a hard time with the really detailed strategic planning in business. If that's you, that's not for me. I think there's points in which it's important to do strategic planning. But the very, very detailed, especially when you're starting out or you're shifting identities or you're creating, it's through listening to your inner voice, and it's saying, go this way and do this thing and try this out and try this out and try that out and try that out, and not listening to other people. What they did, it's the only way to do it. You have to do it this way. You have to run Facebook ads, otherwise you'll never have a business. It'll be awful, right? Or you have to post 75 times a day, otherwise you'll never have a business and it'll never happen. These are people's strategies and beliefs from what they did, not from your deep desire, not from the innate thing within you. Someone could say you have to, absolutely have to do Pilates in order to have a perfect body. But that may not be true for you. Maybe you are deeply drawn to Zumba. And please, mazel, do it, right? So I say all of this to point to you, to your innate knowing within you. Because following that innate knowing will allow you to take it action based off the being, based off the identity of the person that has. Often when this is heard, people do it the opposite way. They say, well, I'm going to be the person that is XYZ. I'm going to be that person that has the business. So before I even have stepped into the identity or the certainty or the knowing that this is for me, this is going to happen, and trusting that each one of these pieces and things that I do are going to be more information that I use to set up the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And I celebrate when things are going well, and I honor myself when things don't go well. But you consistently get to turn back to yourself and say, I trust myself. So if I trust myself, even if it doesn't work out, I cannot be wrong, right? Decisions are decisions. Decisions are a decision you make right. So just, if you're not quite pulling this together and encourage you to listen to it again, because it will set up. I don't want to have an action conversation before an energetic conversation. Two people can have the same thing. Two chefs can have the same recipe and they taste completely different. Two people can have the same business strategy and one's super successful and one isn't. It is about the energetics behind it and the rooting into you. You are what makes it special. You are what makes it all unique. You are the thing that inspires. I am the thing that makes you want to listen to me, not because Facebook exists and there's Facebook Lives and people should go on Facebook Live. No, I'm here, and I, before this, had a meditative moment and said, let me be the vessel to allow another person to be able to really start to believe that the desire within them is actually possible. And that mustard seed, that tiny little bit, to then take that and say, if the desire is within me, then it already is. And if it already is, then I am. And I have to listen to myself and move from this point. I'm going to leave that here for right now. It was a very dense 15 plus minutes. And I also want to invite you, I have something really, my first offering of the year is going to be on the live on the 9th, but I will also be posting about it. And also, I have put all of these lives into my brand new YouTube channel at The Wild Visionary. I will link it below. I did that for several reasons. One, I like watching videos on YouTube. I find it more accessible, easier. You can go back in the history. You can stop the video and return. On lives, you cannot do that. Facebook has not made that possible. If you click out of Facebook, goodbye. You can also 1.5, 2x anything that's happening, so you can listen to it faster. You can listen to it while doing other things. Like, it's a much more accessible way of listening. So there is, at The Wild Visionary, there is a playlist underneath that that is public. Anybody can watch it. You can share it with people. It's the year of being, and all of the videos are posted under there. So if you want to return to them, I'm just trying to make it easier for people to access this information and for you to really step into this with me. So if you're listening, if you've been with me, if you've heard some of the bits I have to say, please say hi. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and much love.